Thank you for being here at Mr. Super Oz. This video is going out, and this channel only exists because I, Oz, founded Gamble Comics, which first release was Everlasting Survivors, a 68-page graphic novel called All Day Long. Available now. Follow the link in the description that will take you to gamblecomics.com. While there, you can get hats, shirts, posters, much more, but most importantly, the story itself. Coming soon from Gamble Comics, BC Brute. Time for Monday Night Raw.
Woo! Alright, so we open up Monday Night Raw on 2/10 of 2003. So, we start the show off with Eazy-E coming out. He has a lot of announcements to make, so he's going to go ahead and run these through for the people so we can get to the great action we got tonight. So, first of all, he wants to announce that Molly Holly will get her one-on-one rematch with Trish Stratus. And that'll happen on No Way Out, is where I put that. Yes, I did. Good job, Josiah.
Yes.
This is the number one checked. He said, but a title that will not be defended on No Way Out will be Triple H's Undisputed Championship because, let's be honest, we don't want the world champion to get hurt going into WrestleMania. That would be silly. Wouldn't make any sense. It's Eric's logic here.
Okay.
So why have him wrestle, right? As soon as he finishes that sentence, out comes the president of AEW.
Oh, Mick Foley.
Mick Foley.
Oh, thank God.
Yes, don't you worry.
So I was a little worried. I was like, oh, this is going to be awkward because I'm having his wife having to defend. So it's like...
Don't you worry. I had five steps ahead of you.
Okay, good.
Comes out and says, listen, Eric, listen, I know I said that I should give you this opportunity to GM, but I feel like, while it's still a good decision, I'm giving you a little bit too much free reign. I gave you a lot of rope to hang yourself, and boy, are you hanging yourself. So, with that in mind, you're still GM. I'm not gonna fire you. That'd be kind of pointless. You're good for ratings.
Yes.
So, what I will do, though, is establish a check and balances system. Because I'm not going to come to every single show. I don't have that kind of time. I'm very busy being the president. Who would have thought being president was busy work? I thought I was supposed to kick back and do nothing. But, nonetheless, I have negotiated with Stephanie to find a great person to keep an eye on you. And that person is in the form of Tori Wilson.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Yes.
That is so smart.
So, of course, Eric also likes this.
Yeah.
Oh, Tori. Oh, my God. Yeah, she's a pushover. I remember her in WCW. Yeah, no problem. And Mick hands the mic over to Tori, and the first thing she does is goes, Eric, buddy, I really like your idea of the one-on-one match with Molly and Trish. Great idea. Phenomenal. Thumbs up to you. You're brilliant.
Sure.
And adding Orton to the U.S. title match, to U.S. title tournament.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea too. But considering he hasn't really had a singles match since he's debuted, I feel like he really needs to earn that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's in the tournament, provided that he wins his match against one half of the tag team champions, Umaga.
Ooh.
Which will be next week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah, Umaga fought 2 versus Randy Orton.
Yes.
That's good stuff.
Just for kicks and giggles. And then, what else?
I've got to see if that match ever happened. I've got to look that up.
I feel like it has, right? At some point,
I would wager it hasn't because they're both heels, I bet.
Oh, you're
I bet
right.
they're both heels.
Because
So
when Umaga's run was big, it was
when Randy was
09?
a heel. Yeah. So I'm gonna guess they haven't.
That
touched,
might not
but
actually.
I'm gonna look.
Oh my god.
So yeah, if it did, we'll find
AEW first time ever, baby.
Oh my god, I love doing that. So it's both a blessing and a curse to book first time matches. Blessing because we're smart bookers.
Yeah.
Curse because we can't ever find those beautiful graphics to pop up.
Just pop them together. Like here's when they touched before in real life.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's the beauty of having.
I was
so
in a verdict.
few
I
women.
thought, yeah.
That's the beauty of having so few women is they've always wrestled.
Yeah.
Each other.
Exactly. Everyone's had some point where they were like, all right, I've interacted with this person. We're good. Hell, even with some of the dudes.
Yes.
Like, I'm sure there's a video somewhere of Tori and Eric talking.
I bet you're right. Because they were both linked with the NWO.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. And let's see. Next up, Tori said, she also states that, and I agree, Ric Flair versus Christian, that's great for ratings. That's good stuff. And, I really want that to be a nice, top-tier, ace, raw, quality match. And I think the best way to do that would be to ban Evolution from ringside. Actually, no, not even from ringside, from the building, just to be extra safe. You know what I'm saying? Eric, of course, by this time, he had this big grin on his face when Tori was introduced, and as she keeps talking, he's slowly
it's falling away.
For him, the poor guy.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Let's see.
Dude, I'm so happy that you had this thought with her. Because, see, that was one of my big problems with having her on SmackDown. So the main reason I draft her is because we know she's not a very good wrestler.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad we traded because this is a way to utilize her charisma and have her interact on the show.
Not to mention the likability, which counters Eric's likable hater.
Yeah. Oh, it's so smart.
Yeah. I figured it was the best thing to do with her because the only other thing I would have did was have her do what Stacey's doing now with different people.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, this was such a smart idea because Stacey's got that market cornered.
Exactly. I mean, you can have two valets. It's not
right. Well, the beautiful thing about what Stacey's doing is she's bringing the analytics to the athletic acumen of her team.
She's bringing the brains. To the
yes. Oh, so good.
Yeah, absolutely. And then so after that bombshell, she also says, "Oh, and lastly, Triple H is 100% defending his title at the pay-per-view. It would make no sense for us to try to sell a pay-per-view without the world champion.
Yeah.
No offense to all the other guys and girls. I'm sure they could.
Yeah.
But why tempt fate?
Yes,
you know what
exactly.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I figured we need a number one contender though. We need someone who could really challenge Triple H. So I decided to go with some proven commodities. Guys who've wrestled Triple H before, have a lot of history with him. So tonight in the main event, it'll be Chris Jericho, former Undisputed Champion, taking on Shawn Michaels.
Ooh, okay.
To determine who will be wrestling Triple H at No Way Out.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So that finally wraps up that really long, classic Raw promo segment.
Yeah, but important.
But very important because there's a lot of loose ends we need to decide.
Yeah.
Next segment, obviously Jericho talks some trash, says, "I'm gonna beat Shawn Michaels, childhood hero, but let's be honest, Triple H is a legend. I beat
Oh
Stone."
my goodness! It just hit me
Yeah.
that you're doing Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho, Kane, and Sean O'Haire are the reason that Shawn Michaels isn't challenging Triple H at WrestleMania because they teamed up to eliminate him from the Royal Rumble.
See, this is why I love Oz, because he remembers all this stuff. Gets on really easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that pretty much what he just said is what Jericho says in the promo.
Yeah, beautiful.
And he said he will continue to keep Shawn away from Triple H and the Undisputed title. Because, let's be honest, that old man doesn't need to be world champion.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. Meanwhile, because I think this still happened in our universe, did Jericho still beat The Rock and...
Oh, he beat Rock and Stone Cold on the same night, yes. The only difference was instead of being Kurt, it was Booker.
That's what it was.
Because of Starrcade instead of Vengeance.
Yep. Okay, cool. I just wanted to piece that together because I remember we remixed a little bit of it.
Yes.
But I couldn't remember all the little details.
Yep. Kurt was taken out, Booker was putting in.
Perfect. All right, so, yeah, still happened. He still has that bragging right.
Yes.
Was still Undisputed Champion. So, you've heard Jericho make
That was
speech.
too important for me to not keep beating The Rock and Stone Cold on the same night.
Yeah,
so
I'm about to say that was a talking point for literally 10 years of his career before he did other stuff.
Absolutely.
And then he sends out his new troops, O'Haire and Kane, to handle some business with Al Snow and Richards.
Okay.
Which they do
easily.
Very handily. I can't remember, was O'Haire the one who had the Widowmaker, the reverse AA?
Yes.
Finish.
But in WCW, his finish was the Swanton Bomb. So a Swanton Bomb from a big dude. Like he was what 6'3", 6'4".
Right?
He's big, jacked. Oh my goodness, yeah.
Which is funny because he's still going to look small next to Kane.
Right, exactly. And which means I feel like, could still get away with the flippy stuff. Is what was the point of bringing it up.
Smart man.
Yeah.
But it ends with a choke slam, then a Swanton Bomb. It's perfect.
Yeah, I love it.
After the match, Sean brings Kane down, whispers something into his ear.
Mm-hmm.
So they pin Richards.
Okay.
And then, as soon as Sean's done whispering into his ear, Kane goes out of the ring, grabs Al Snow, and hits him with a tombstone pile driver through the announce table.
Beautiful.
And that was that segment.
I love this pairing. Oh, it's so smart.
Thank you. Devil's advocate and the devil, I figured.
Yeah. Devil's favorite demon, yeah.
Figured it flows pretty well.
Yes.
Wrestling's greatest tag team beats a couple jobbers. Just to get them on the show.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love those guys. And what this does is it really highlights the depth of the tag team division.
Yes,
so,
and also the fact that we have a tag team division.
So here's a question I have for you.
Yeah.
Do you remember how Chris Jericho is known as the King of the World?
Yes.
And currently, there's no name for Sean O'Haire, Chris Jericho, and Kane.
The group itself.
The faction. So, I'll ask you off air. That way, in case you don't like it. But I have a working idea for
a name
for the trio. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I couldn't come up with anything just because. We'll talk about it.
Of course, yeah. Actually, please stand by. Anyway, back to the show.
Hey, so like I said, Wrestling Greatest Tag Team came out with Stacy, handled business, left. Real simple stuff. Victoria barges into.
So while they're having their match, I want the commentary team, and I'm not even asking, I'm telling, to put over the No Way Out match where Christian and Kurt Angle are having a hair versus hair match for their egos that are really what's on the line. Not so much the hair, but it's the ego. It's the boastfulness of I took this from you. I took this from you. And so that way they can two birds, one stone type thing.
Works for me.
Yeah, thanks.
But yeah, cool. Because, what did I just say?
Victoria.
Barges into now the shared Tori and Eric office to be upset about not being a part of the women's title match.
Oh my goodness. The beauty of having a female general manager or whatever title she'll take.
I haven't come up with one yet.
That's fine. Well, whatever you want to... Power player. Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, person in power.
The beauty of that is it gives the women's division, somebody to put their ire toward. And I like that a lot. Because in Impact, there was a period of time where Maria Kanellis was the power broker of the women's.
Was that in Ring of Honor too?
Ring of Honor, exactly that too. Mm-hmm. And I was just saying that's smart because like none of the boys bow up to Steph because obviously ain't nobody gonna throw hands on her.
Right.
And so on the Raw brand now, the women have a person that they can really sink their teeth, especially heels. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So I wanted to take advantage of that early.
Yeah.
So she's mostly yelling at Tori. Eric kind of sees that and just takes a very shy step back. And just like, okay, balance the checks, kid.
Yeah.
It's all you.
It's almost like, are you going to regret this?
So she's upset about not being in the women's title match because, former champion.
Yep.
She was the champion before Molly, and it's not her fault Molly lost.
Yes.
And Tori's like trying to calm her down. She's like, okay, calm down. Well, as much as I hate to say it, Molly has a rematch clause. She's earned the right to have a one-on-one. And Eric just kind of sheeply steps in and goes, listen, I have an idea, and if you're okay with it, I just want to put it out there. She's like, by all means. Eric tells her she can get a title opportunity if she defeats Molly one-on-one next week. And Tori's like, not a bad idea. With the added caveat that the Black Widow Alliance is banned from ringside.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Nice and easy.
I'm with it.
And Eric not so hot on that idea, but it was like, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
If we gotta.
I guess if we gotta, if that's still. I really want the match. Gotta be more entertaining if they were there, but whatever. So they agreed to it. Victoria's hot, but
I agree.
ultimately accepts the match. Let's see. Next up, we have a promo. Christian, which is skirts, good luck at the match in the pay-per-view, and says, listen, I know we've had some heat with some harsh words traded, but just to show there's no hard feelings. I walked around the arena tonight and saw these nice Kurt Angle signs, all this love and all this adoration for our American hero, and I wanted to share these with you, maybe get you to sign a couple autographs for the kids, really show that you're such a great guy. And literally what this is, so Kurt's looking at the signs.
Yeah, it's the edge gimmick.
It's the edge gimmick.
Yeah. Well, there's some things that are just too good not to do.
Yeah, it's so easy. And since Edge and Christian were at this point in time essentially the same person in real life.
Right. And, because honestly, Edge has not yet become that vile, that vicious, that rated R superstar.
So he's a Jokey Kazoo guy still.
And Christian, ever since seeing the error of his ways, or not even error, but the optimistic version of himself that Mick Foley saw, introduced into this world. Yeah, I think it's genius.
But yeah, something I can totally see. Of course, Kurt has no idea he's got this dumb grin on his face. He's like, I'll be happy to sign for the kids, man. That's what American heroes do.
Yes.
Of course, as he's pulling up the sign, Stacey sees and she just kind of giggles instead of telling him. It's funny.
Yeah, in on the gag.
Yeah. And then finally we hit our main event of the night: Chris Jericho versus the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Nice, solid, like you could. This is one of those matches where, like, they're going to wrestle again, like, just as a booker. So, like, they're not putting everything out there.
So it's not the WrestleMania 19 match?
No, not even close.
Just asking. Because, it's WrestleMania 19's around the corner, and Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho recently paid homage to that match. So just double checking.
I'm about to say, I've already seen all the clips where, like, the top is Jericho and Sammy, and Sammy and Shawn.
Yep.
And I gotta give it to Jericho. He must remember that night really well because he did the exact same thing Shawn did. It was beat for beat.
It's funny. So Ahmed has this thing where he calls my brain the vault, and so there are times when I come into work and I say the vault betrayed me, and he's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, I saw everything in that match coming." And he's like, how? And I was like, because I remember wrestling. That's
how. I remember watching it. So I watched the same match, just with different people and moves.
And so, two things. One, I saw Sammy Guevara and I said, I know what's happening at the end of this match. And two, Excalibur.
Oh, you looked at the gear?
Oh, of course. And Excalibur then told the audience. So anybody who didn't remember, he was like, this is paying homage to WrestleMania 19. And I said, well, I know how that ended.
Yeah, I knew as soon as he said that, I'm like, so that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Which... I mean, to be fair to AEW, usually they're very good about not hammering down, like, usually they're really good about being subtle.
Here's the best part.
Yeah.
Here's the best part. He didn't remember. So it didn't ruin a thing for him.
Really?
Ahmed.
Oh, that's part. Okay, great.
And so...
I did, so it ruined it for me.
He said, that was for me. And I said, yeah I know. Now. But with or without the verbiage, we would have known where it was going, just visually.
No, I took one look at Sammy's gear and I'm like, that's what they're doing with this match. Okay.
Yep.
I gotta admit, love the finish of that match too. The code breaker out of the shooting star.
Yeah, who's coming out on top in this match?
Oh, sorry, Shawn
Michaels.
Shawn Michaels. So we have Triple H versus Shawn Michaels at No Way Out.
That's a beautiful match.
They went like Lion Sullivan with Sweet Chin music or something, just something cool.
Of course. It's very, very much something those guys could easily pull off. Yeah, I believe in both.
Especially since Jericho's younger.
Yeah.
So you could really get the height for that Lions.